Ready? Honorable panel, just to be clear, several responses to what we heard from the previous speaker. First thing, something technical but important. A, please note that the model actually was on a need base, meaning you're not just going to spend money on people who don't really need it. But B, they are still ignoring the fact that the kind of brain drain that they're talking about the most successful, powerful people who have money, whatever, leaving, happens under the status quo already. The change that we're creating, and this is particularly something that Monica explains to you, is that now even those with the money and with the power know that they need to make sure to make a decision because they can't just come back and play with this model as if they want. And it's a shame that Ben doesn't particularly listen when we explain that. Second thing, he accuses us for not explaining why people will now be happier in another country because you know what, maybe after they move, not everything would be perfect, they'll have a hard time and all of that. Honorable panel, this is continuing the mistake that already started with the opening opposition when they're confusing the fact of deciding between two options that are not that good, confusing this with having no options whatsoever, because when they come and tell you both oppositions, you're coercing them. People do not have any choice. We're saying the fact that you have to choose between two alternatives, that none of them is particularly wonderful. We never promised a perfect life on our side of the house for the people who are moving. We're saying we're giving you more options, and we think that that alone, for an individual who now can choose to move someplace else, generally would make him more satisfied with the situation of it all. So we're happy about that. Third thing, he responds to our case and tries to dismiss it and say, you know what, these rotten apples, now society doesn't have an interest to take care of these problems. No, what is this problematic answer? First of all, look, opening opposition themselves explain to you why it might be very difficult for people to leave because of ties, families, and all that, right? That means that we'll still have people stay, meaning society still has an interest and the state still has an interest to take care of the problems with the people staying, meaning we still have an interest to provide, to try at least to improve education, to try at least to improve the way our police acts, and to try and improve structural problems of discrimination. What he doesn't deal with, unfortunately for them, is the crucial part in our extension, because Monica analyzes the difference between the cost in both scenarios. Monica explains to you that the cost of now society having to fix itself after you have these people who turn to crime, who have lost faith in the system, but don't actually have a way out, but don't actually have a way to improve them, and therefore go to the extreme, go and create more damage to our society. The cost of repairing that, the cost of welfare, like exactly in this situation, is so much bigger than we're saying. We'd rather, this is our analogy about the insurance company. We're saying it's better for us, it's more beneficial for us to invest this money in allowing these people to have a new opportunity in someplace else where they won't have these expenses up and have a bigger chance for themselves. Last thing, he says, like he kind of challenges our principle and says, you know what, why not give people Lamborghini? Why are you subsidizing this? Guys, seriously, because Lamborghinis are not a part of allowing individuals the basic rights of self-autonomy, of establishing your identity and living according to that. And if you would have had, you probably should have invested more in explaining why is this? No. Why is this the same thing? We are saying immigration helps for your personal identity. Emigrate allows you autonomy. We're saying this is something we should happen. Now let's go into our let's go into more clashes. First of all, look, principally, okay? We already explained to you why oppositions have a problem, when they come up with this case about no choice, coercion. Because several responses, we don't think we got sufficient analysis on why actually would the situation become worse than is in the status quo in terms of pressuring on this group. Second thing we have to tell you, even if that was the case, that only shows us that it wouldn't be just one individual from a group leaving, but probably an entire family who would want to improve their situation, meaning all the difficulties and the damages that they portray for the individual who is now cut off from his community or cut off from their family don't really exist because they leave together. Or in the worst case scenario, you can always come back and visit on a tourist visa, right? If you don't come back to live and to permanently live inside your country. But then they keep on going more and more about why this permanent thing is so problematic. look, several responses we give you, we don't think the closing opposition actually engages. As Monica tells you, first of all, this is crucial to make sure that people actually make a proper choice for themselves, that they actually consider all the different outcomes and ask themselves, am I willing to take the risk? This also means that countries can now plan better until they know people who are leaving, who are actually permanently leaving, and we don't have to take care of them anymore. We don't have to invest in them anymore. And third thing we tell you, this already stops the abuse and the kind of brain drain specifically that happens today when this doesn't happen, engaging with what closing opposition tell you. But moreover, we tell you on a principle level, because there are, and since we're talking about liberal countries, because there are objectical difficulties in accessing these basic rights of autonomy, of movement, of self-actualization, because exactly the point with this right becomes a positive right, meaning the state has to make sure that it invests money in it. We're saying this is the model that allows us this balance, making sure that states give access to citizens to this country, but stop the ability to abuse, to overuse this system, and create even more problems for the people staying behind. We're so happy to hear White objects.
Why does the state have a bigger incentive to fix conditions, to reduce poverty, and give people meaningful choices and autonomy, if poor people are incentivized to leave so they're not a drain on resources, especially since Monica concedes that liberal states can also make people's lives
Okay. I think I answered that quite at the beginning when I said that not everybody is leaving and you still have these problems you want to fix. Second thing, that's kind of the basic premise of a liberal country. Even if liberal countries generally are not perfect and some things don't go wrong, yes, France and the burqa thing, we're saying the basic idea which these countries operate on is to try to solve this problem. That's a message. But like Monica tells you, sometimes even if the state tries its best, it simply cannot. When you have structural unemployment, for example, and in this case, make sure you give the people the option out there, another alternative, because you're not able to provide them a solution today. So to close up on so that's why principle is wrong, but also in practical level, like we show you in our case, for the people who are for the societies that we have left, if we don't allow it. This is a crucial distinction from the opening house. They say good things might come this. Monica tells you, for certainty, bad things are going to happen if you don't allow this policy now. We see these problems already rising in Europe today. We see these problems rising in countries. They're only going to become worse and worse unless we take action. This is the right action. We're happy to oppose.